So let's get into some Homas news and let's talk about the Traitors. Now, child, let me tell you, the reveal at the end and the whole traitor situation, can I tell you, this was the most epic episode of the season. I cannot tell you how much I love this damn show. Like, they bring the drama, even though if there's a bunch of people on there who's like career wise, like, who are these people? Specifically, the biggest cackle I had was Sam Asghari, where he tried to do the whole Britney, oh, it's Britney thing. It was like, I think it was a cardigan sweater or something he was wearing. I was like, oh, it's cute. He's like, oh, it's Britney's. And they were like, oh, we thought it was there is an actual Britney on the show. But it was like, no, Britney Spears, which is his claim to fame. And I did hear someone also say that they found it funny. Oh, when I was reading this interview, that a lot of people said they had no idea who Sam Asghari was. They were like, but then they had to be told he was Britney's ex-husband. So, child, you need to do a little bit better trying to differentiate yourself from the Britney stuff because people don't know who you are. And on top of that, it's just like, I don't want to make it seem like Crystal Vanity is right, friend, and who was a friend of mine, the Roberts, um, where she be going in. She looks at Sam as an opportunist type. It's like, girl, with him making that comment, it's like, damn, you making it seem like, maybe there might be some truth to it. So look, Misguided apparently did not miss her mark. And for those of you who do not know who Misguided is actually the drag name that Bob gave Dylan Efron. So Bob the Drag Queen, RuPaul's Drag, and if y'all don't want spoilers, definitely turn this off. So Bob the Drag Queen, the RuPaul's Drag Race Season 8 winner, took over Alan Cummings' Scottish Castle on Season 3 of the Traitors, as he likes to say. But last night's episode, well, technically Thursday's night episode, shook everything up, including Bob. Now hosted by Alan Cumming, the Traitors boast stars from across the spectrum of reality TV, including Big Brother's Danielle Reyes, Real Housewives of New York's Dorinda Medley, The Bachelor's Gabby Winsey, and Selling Sunset's Chriselle Staus. Now, over a dozen reality TV stars enter the castle as equals, but 3 are secretly chosen as traitors by Cumming. The rest are faithfuls, whose objective is to successfully identify and vote out the traitors. It's the job of the traitors to stay undetected while they murder off the faithful one by one, either by killing them in the night or turning the faithfuls against one another so they can vote more faithful players out. Each side can win by eliminating all of the opposition. So the point where I think Bob screwed up, because he did screw up, he screwed up like after they won their little challenge where they had to bring up some body and some head and statue, whatever case was. And I thought he was safe from elimination because he was one of the 8 that managed to get, or 9 that was able to get their statue put together. But he went and said, oh, one of the targets in the house might be somebody new. And Boston Rob, who has also been made a traitor, he was made the 4th traitor. He was the one that hatched the plan. He was like, oh, you basically putting a target on my back. So now I have to go after Bob. So now on Thursday's episode, the traitors turn on each other. Boston Rob, a traitor, felt the need to take out the drag queen tonight and set his sights on getting Bob banished at the round table with a direct attack, accusing him of treachery in front of everyone. He said, I'm just going to say 9 words. I swear to God, I am a faithful. This is what he said. And literally, I had to pause my TV and count it. Like, is it really 9? It was 9. So shout out to Bob because he was smart with that one. And then even Zac Efron caught some strays in the heat of moment because his brother Dylan, who has been on to Bob since the beginning, and was like, "Oh, I don't." He did go after him in the last episode, not the recent one, but the recent one before that. And then he was just like, "Oh well, I don't have the numbers, so I'm gonna back off right now." Until Boston Rob came around and was like, oh, we going after Bob and blah, blah, blah. And had him like Dylan kind of going around and doing the dirty work. He was doing it too. And then when they got to the round table, he shots fired immediately. I was like, oh shit, I didn't even think Boston Rob was even going to go there with that. But he did. He spoke up. And that's when it kind of gave Dylan the ammunition to be like, okay, this guy's got my back. So now I have enough ammunition to go after Bob. So, and Rob's, look, and then the funny part to me was when he's like, Bob is an amazing actor. I grew up with an actor. And then Bob was like, not a good one. So, well, now then, why did Zach have to get that stray? Zach didn't ask for, to be thought. But look, if his brother's gonna come up in here with the situation, then you got to get dragged into the mess. So Rob's plan worked, and Bob was voted out because he said, and this is the part that I was like, okay, bitch, this now use epic for this. He said, guys, I swear, I swear to God that that I'm not a traitor. And he was like, and that was a lie. I don't believe in God. I am a traitor. Oh, I'm sorry, because he didn't say he wasn't a traitor. He said he was a traitor. So it was like, yeah. And I was like, okay, that was epic because he's like, I don't believe in God. So yeah, when I say I swear to God, I was like, yeah, I was lying, bitch. So everybody fell out their chair. They were excited. They lost their they lost their minds because it's like, yay, we finally got a traitor out of the house. However, and I'm going to get to the comments from the people that was tweeting their overall thoughts on the show. Like Chanel Ayan, who the Traitors voted out in the last episode, among others. Bob was on Twitter live tweeting the whole episode. However, shout out to Wes over at the challenge. And this is why I said, like, the challenge people, they're really good at playing these crazy manipulative games. Because that's what they do over there. It's not only the physical challenges, but it's also the mental challenges of building alliances, manipulating people to vote off this one, that one, the other one. And Wes was notorious for doing that on when he was over there on the challenge. The one thing I will say about Wes, and I was like, he pointed out this. He was like, how are you 100% sure that someone's a traitor? And then it was said, who was it? It was Tom Sandoval that said it. He said, you're not sure unless, and he was like, yeah, unless you're a traitor, only a traitor would know another traitor and will pull a move to get him out of the house. So now you got the other two traitors that's like, well, this is not something that we agreed on, but our hands was forced. And if I don't vote for Bob, which Bob said that broke his heart when one of the girls voted him out, and we'll get to the tweets in a second. That when it came down to that, he was hurt by all of that, and it was like, yeah, but she had to protect herself because if she voted against it, then she would have looked guilty. But then again, I would have been like, that's my friend. I don't want to vote for my friend because we have such a closeness and a bond. But then if it would have turned out that he was a traitor, I'd just been like I would have played it off like, well, I was duped. I didn't know he was a traitor. Like I would have played it off in that way. But when you're in the heat of the moment and tension is flying and all this other stuff, you do what you got to do to save your own ass. So Bob wrote, "I'm so dramatic, ha ha ha," in one of his tweets, and then also put, "Take out the drag queen as nasty work." But sir, you kind of call this on yourself because, like I said, if you wasn't out here putting a target on a lot of the newer people, and Boston Rob being one of the newer people, then you wouldn't be in this position. One person said Bob really gave us good TV. So yeah, it was good damn TV with that whole situation. There's somebody posted a clip of Pose where it said this was fun, I guess. Another person said, I'm glad Bob got sent home. So you got some people out here who are Bob haters. Another person said, is Bob dead? I just woke up. Let me get Ayan Beauty on my face to actually breathe. And then well, that was Chanel that said that, Miss Ayan. That was her comment. So another person put housewife fans watching me get banished. And then they played Ding Dong, the witch is dead, the witch of the witch, the wickedest witch that ever was, the enemy of all of us. Her ass is dead. Then another person put, did these folks not watch previous seasons of The Traitors? Because always being the loudest person in the room ain't the way to be a good traitor. I think Bob has been doing too much since day one. Danielle ain't that far behind. And you want to know something? I think that is true. When you start to bring a little too much attention to yourself, like you can say little things and stuff. You got to be subtle, but you also got to, you got to be low key and subtle. When you start to do too much and you try to be overly dramatic, and yeah, Bob was trying to walk around like he was controlling everything that was going on in the house, and everybody was falling in line in some sort of way. Rob would be threatened by that. So he's like, oh no, I got to take you out. But in this case, it's like, yeah, we got to make sure that he doesn't make it all the way to the end because he's just as evil and vindictive. He's on from Survivor. He's done seasons of the Traitors before. So you got to watch your back when it comes to him. He's good TV too. So you just got to watch it. So yes, another person said all Bob has to do is say nothing at the end of the challenge and he would still be playing the game. I'm super sad because I love Bob the drag queen and I was looking forward to seeing him play. But he did too much too soon. And then he also went and said, yeah, when Danielle voted for me, my heart shattered into 1,000 pieces. I can't lie. Another person said Danielle and Bob should have listened to Carolyn, though no shade. Another person said Dylan Efron, I grew up with an actor, Bob the drag queen, and then posted this video of Countess Luann going at with Sonia. And then you said not a good one was so out of pocket. But then not a good one was so out of you said not a good one, Bob saying not a good one was so out of pocket. But it was entertaining though. You giving us good TV. That's what we want. Another person said all he had to say was at the challenge, I said it was one of the new guys, and now you're coming for me at the round table, and he could have flipped it. But a lot of people aren't thinking when they're in that moment. So, um, at the end of the day, it seemed like Bob apparently, took the elimination in stride. But he said in his confessional, basically, Bob is scared of me. Boston Rob is scared of me. Period. Point blank. He took me out. I'm his biggest competition. He saw that the big dog was wounded, and he went in for the kill. And you know what? That's fair. That's the gameplay. That's just gameplay. And it's like, yeah, he's playing the game. So, and we're all entertained by it. But we'll see how long he lasts post getting rid of Bob. Because everybody is in there temporary. Oh, yeah, we're so excited. We managed to get a traitor out of the house. Y'all got 3 more to go. But then I think they do add another one as the show progresses. They have to start choosing more traitors. So, y'all got more to take out. So that way y'all can get that pot of money all the way at the end. And while it's great that you got this campaign going to eliminate him, you got to worry about Danielle and Carolyn because they're the other girls that are, they're going after you. She said the silent assassin, and they're gonna come after you. But I saw like some people were trying to say, oh, y'all doing the same thing like last year and trying to, I guess, make it seem like this is a biased move on their part, where they went after Peppermint last year, and then they're doing it to Bob. No, what Trishelle did to Peppermint last year, that pissed me off. And I hate the fact that that bitch got away and made her money, along with what the hell's his name, CT, and how they did Mercedes dirty with that whole situation, how they walked away with that money. Y'all pulled the Johnny Bananas on Sarah. That's what they did with that situation last season. But the way that they went after Peppermint and stuff, I didn't like that. This season, Bob kind of brought all that on himself. He was doing too much. So I do agree. I don't think it was that this is the same thing. There was some sense of bias because a lot of people in the house genuinely like Bob. And I don't think a lot of people had Bob on their radar. There was a couple of people that had this sense, but not everybody. But then Boston Rob had he convinced everybody enough that they went along with it. But I think also, what's her name had her suspicions for a while? Black Dolores. So, like this was, his karma's coming, Boston Rob. But the good thing in him coming after Bob the drag queen, it has definitely aroused some suspicions in the castle about him. Like I was saying about Wes gaining suspicion, and then Tom Sandoval also clicking and putting 2 and 2 together. So if Danielle and Carolyn are correct, or not even correct, if they're smart, they'll look at this situation, notice that tides are turning, that people are starting to suspect Boston Rob, and they need to do what they got to do to get his ass out the house. So then when it comes down to, you know what, let's get rid of it, because they won't put no suspicion on themselves. They're like, wait a minute, how would Rob know automatically that he did this, and this if he wasn't guilty? Or if you didn't have some kind of suspicion. So that's what I would do. So let me know what you guys think of this story in the comments down below.